Here's an example from Finland from the past 5 years. 5 years ago, if you calculate the top 50 handsets, you would have covered 90% of the market. Nowadays, it's 70%. And that's in Finland, which is Nokia-dominated, very special case. That's happening even in Finland. So the fragmentation is just growing and it's huge. If you think about Samsung, they have nowadays 6 operating systems. Last week they launched Digia. If you think about Nokia, once they announce their support for Android, they will have 5 platforms. That's pure speculation. They haven't made that announcement, of course. This was very relevant back in '48, that's 60 years ago. The world needs 5 computers. 60 years have passed, and this is where we are. That's a logarithmic scale of the number of computers spanning from mainframes into today's world. The bottom line here is that the biggest bubble on the right represents 10 billion devices. So what's the story? Today there's a little bit more than 1 billion PCs. There's 4 billion mobiles. But when you calculate all the new devices, the car electronics, the home entertainment, the games devices, the tablets, the e-readers, very soon we will have 10 billion devices that are fragmented, that are using data on the networks. Cisco is preventing that in the next 4 years, the mobile traffic will grow 66 times. That's a lot of pressure for somebody who's gatekeeping the network. It will mean that you need different pricing models. You need something based on volumes or times or prices. Flat rate data is definitely the way to go, but with that type of pressure, something also has to change. We all know that one smartphone does as much data transfer as 30 feature phones, and one laptop card, same amount of data as 450 feature phones. Huge pressure to the networks. And then the final topic of today, the battle of the mobile desktop. Here we have the world's most expensive advertising space that's now for sale. 4 billion eyeballs are looking at that advertising space 30 times per day. 30 times per day you take your phone out and you look at what's happening. Everybody wants a piece of that pie. We have here, for example, Vodafone, Apple and Google as example companies. Vodafone and Apple are now talking about how to solve the fact that Vodafone wants their 360 onto Apple's main desktop, and Apple doesn't want to do that. We'll see about that in a month's time or so, what was the outcome. On the other hand, we have seen Verizon and Google make a very sweet deal. Google's software will be directly on Verizon handsets, and we talk about millions and millions of handset volume. The operator took a different role, different position, but they are looking at growing their marketing revenue, their advertising revenue with Google. The question really with this question for the operators is that, how do I maximize my revenue? What do I put on the desktop? How do I update it? And how do I enter the mobile marketing space? And I'd like to conclude with the demo of something that we recently did. It's an Android piece of software that's showing something called augmented reality. It's a software that when you put up your handset and you look to the outside world through your handset, you will see points of interest next to you. You will see restaurants, you will see whatever is interesting to your profile. And why do I want to show this one? Because we think that location, when your computer in your pocket has location, it's a fundamental change. Everything, basically everything changes. You will interact differently with your friends, with where you eat, how you shop, what you read, everything changes. So let's take a look at that 1-minute video, if I get it to start. So that's the phone screen that you see there. It's looking at the wintry Finnish town, police station, shopping center. And also you see the radar on the right hand, which is showing all the locations. And when you tilt your phone back horizontally, you get a map that shows you the driving directions to the target. And we're looking for restaurants here. We have found a Greek restaurant nearby. It takes us to the menu. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.